it's me. It's Laura B at Craft and See with Laura B. I know I said that I would show you a finished or more finished of this. However, I will show you the hot mess that part of my craft is. And this is just the desk. So let me stand up, kind of pan back. Yes, all my drinks. But this is what I want to show you. This whole area is actually disorganized. It's a disorganized mess. But as we pan around, there's this, before I threw a fit this morning, or earlier today, this you could not even walk through. This is where I killed a squirrel. I'm just joking. I spilled red paint. Anyway, so this is a hot mess that needs to be organized. Over here, you know what? I'm just going to show it. I'm just going to shame myself. There's my dog, Izzy. Hi, say hi, Isabel. Well, hello, beautiful. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Okay, there's my tower of flowers. This is the hot mess that a lot of it came out of my craft room proper and thrown out here so it could go back in organized. This is one of the bookshelves I was telling you about. There's all the journals that I have been given. Most of them are ones I made and haven't done anything with. So yes. Oops, sorry if I went too fast. And this is the disorganized mess that I need to back it up. I need to figure out something to do with. What I'd like to do is take those bins on the top. The boxes mostly have home decor stuff for the seasons, which I never do anything with. When I get those big bins out to the shed, and I have 2 more shelves, I just need to get the brackets that they sit on, and so I can get them closer together and actually utilize it for more. But yes, so when I say my craft room is a hot mess, this is what I mean. This is what I mean by a hot mess. And this, for the most part, this is under the stairs. And it has a lot of home decor stuff that I haven't done with. There's some of my fabrics. Behind that is more fabric. And a bin with crochet thread and yarn. And so, yes, when I say it's a hot mess, it is a hot mess. Although, at least I can see the floor. I can see the floor and I vacuumed. So, yay me. That is why I did not finish that today. Because I cannot create anymore in this much chaos. So, until next time, I bid you adieu. Peace out. Peace out. Bye. Hey y'all, it's me, Laura B at Craft and See with Laura B. How are you all doing this morning, today, this afternoon, this evening, wherever you are? Sorry, I had to pick something up. I'm doing well, thank you. Today, this Wednesday, I will be doing an Inspired By series. And to kick us off, I am starting with G. Kerr. However, I need to say a couple things before I start the video, and this is just directed at Mitzi. Mitzi, my good friend Mitzi, and we just throw each other shade. So none of this is taken seriously, and no, we're not mad at each other, but I'm throwing her shade. You are snot rocket. An absolute snot rocket extraordinaire. Because she knows, I've talked about this before, she knows exactly what my head is going to start singing when she says certain things. Now, I don't know why I'm like this, but once the tune enters my head, it will not leave. Unless it's replaced by another earworm that will not leave. So, and in answer to your question, yes, I did know which song you were talking about. And so I looked it up just so I had some of the lyrics correctly. And it is from Dixieland. And it says, I wish I was in Dixie. Hooray, hooray. I wish I was in Dixie. Hooray, hooray. And it goes on. But there is a northern version of it also. And it says, hurrah, hurrah, the stars and stripes forever. Hurrah, hurrah, our union shall last forever. So, look away, Dixieland. So, anyway, yes, I knew immediately. And that is a tune that will not leave my head since then. So, ugh, you did it to me twice. I beg you, please stop. Not actually at you, but at my head, because my head just won't stop repeating the one. And it's usually like 2 lines or 1 verse. It's not even the whole song. It's just a snippet of it. So anyway, enough of that. The other thing I wanted to tell you, Mitzi, and show y'all, if you watched Mitzi at 307 Junk Journals the other day, she was talking about how she ordered off the Temu these butterflies that she thought were perfect, and they ended up being as large as her palm. And, you know, they joke about on Amazon ending up getting a tiny little rug for a dollhouse when they thought they were getting an area rug for their living room. Well, it worked in reverse for me because I just wanted a coin purse. And so this is a year or so ago, and so I was looking at coin purses, and I found one that I liked. It was Gizmo. And yes, it was for children, but I didn't care because it was Gizmo. Who doesn't like the Gremlins, right? Well, I neglected to really think about how the measurements of it, because I expected it to include the ears. Now I'm 5'2", so I have short fingers but wide palms. This is what I got. This is old Gizmo. Gizzy's a little bit, not quite so fat, but anyway, yeah, Gizmo. I thought with the ears included, it would be just about this size, but no. As you can see, Gizmo can hold a lot of change. Gizmo's basically a piggy bank that I can't stop getting into. Anyway, so there's my story, and it's about not really looking at the size very well. And some places, some people, they don't put the size on there. So, you know, you kind of gotta go with what you think. All right, on to the show. So again, Inspired by Wednesdays is what I'm choosing to do, and hopefully nobody else is taking that name or isn't going to get mad at me because I've not heard that name, Inspired by Wednesdays. But I don't know everybody out there. So, it is from G. Kerr, channel name G. Kerr, and what I did is, she calls this a pocket booklet, and this was the original one I made, and I used chalk for the stencils, and, you know, there are pockets. Let me find something to put in a pocket. So, you can put a pocket. They're all pockets. And how she did it is she also had side pockets, which I did not do. Side pockets here, and decorated it all up. And this was my first one, and it was well over a year ago, and obviously I was beginning my journey and didn't really take into account everything, and because I didn't know what I was doing. So I decided to use the same concept, do the same thing, but change it up just a little bit. And what I did is I took, this is on here so I knew which way was up. I took cardstock. I don't know which creator, like Bo Bunny or whatever. I was given these by my friend Heather. This was one of the things. And so I cut it to the size I wanted, which was just over 6. So about 6 1/4. And what we're going to finish, because I did most of it, is I made a concertina, as they call it. I guess we call it a fan fold here in the United States. I'd never heard of concertina until I started watching G. Kerr, and she's from the UK, but I believe she lives in Portugal now. Anyway, so that's what this is what I did last night. I did the cover last night, and then I've done the pockets. Now I have chosen to use this one for the pockets, Delilah. And I cut them all to, did I even put the measurements? Well, it's 8 1/2 because, you know, 425, 4 1/4, 8 1/2, and 6. This is 6 tall. So the concertina part that you're going to glue your pockets onto is 6 inches tall. And in order to, you know, get 4 1/4, it's 8 1/2 wide. This is what I started with the concertina part, and I did it on coffee dyed cardstock of 65-pound weight. I don't know what that is, translates to in the UK or other places. I can tell you that it does not translate directly, because every time I hear a creator say, well, I use this GSM, I cannot find a correlating US size weight, I should say. Anyway, so in order to start this, I took an 8.5 by 11, cut it to 6 high, and 10 3/4 long is how it worked out. And that gave me 13 folds for 13 pockets. So, if you don't understand, are unsure, I should say, of how to do this, well, I'm going to take my marked up scoreboard, and the only reason that it's marked up is because I could not see the lines, and I still need to go back over here because it's very difficult to see. Let me get a little, where's my scoring tools? And I don't want to rush through it, but nor do I want this to be, you know, a 2-hour-long video. So I started with a 1/2 inch. I marked it here at 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, and 1/2 inch. So that gave us plenty of, you know, glue space so that it would adhere well. And this was not easy for me to do because I don't get measurements. I don't know if it's called spatial awareness. I know that I don't have good spatial awareness, which is why you'll see me bruised up a lot, because I don't see things well, and so I run into door jams, I hit my fist reaching for something, that kind of thing. There's a technical name for it, and I can never get it right. But anyway, so I kind of messed up here, but I measured it at a 1/2 inch. So I did my concertina, and I set it down on my glass mat, and then I approximated how much I would need. And the first time I went just a little bit over because of course it was an odd measurement. It wasn't like a 1/2 or a 1/4. It was like 5/8 or 7/8, and that was just some weird one. Okay, so I start the score at a 1/2 inch, which I can barely even see that. And then from there, you do every 3/8. So 1, 2, 3, and score. 1, 2, 3, and score. And so on. 1, 2, 3. There it is. And I'm not going to do very much. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And I'm going to leave it at that. And what you do is you're not going to wind up with an even number all the way across if you use the 1/2 inch mark. Trust me, I tried it, and then I had to figure out how much I actually cut off. So with counting the little hash marks, I worked it out to, if you cut your paper at 10 3/4, your 1/2 inch fold from this side will be 10 1/4. And I'm sure, and that depends on how much, and again, that depends on how long you want it and how many pockets you want to put in it. I just went through here and just scored. I was watching American Dad, and just, and used from there because, well, I didn't know how many it would be. So then you just concertina your fold back and forth. And of course, this always gives me fits because, you know, my OCD kicks in. And so if it's not exactly flat, you know, even, and it wasn't on this, trust me, it's raised. If you can see back here, they didn't all, let me see, and I'll get a little pointer. They did not all fold evenly, and I finally just gave up and went with it. So you just go back and forth like this. Come on now. So now see, I have that Dixieland song stuck in my head. So, and at this point, what you will do is you're going to want it to sit like this. See, and I do it wrong every time. I think. For some reason, I don't know why, but all this stuff is hard for me to visualize as I'm doing it. So I have to, and I'm trying not to get off right. There we go. So what you're going to do is glue down. That stays like that. Just put a little spot of glue. And so you're going to glue it like this from the bottom side. And these will give you your gussets. I believe they're called gussets. I am new to paper crafting, as I've said before. I did not start this until almost 2 years ago. I don't have any background in this. I don't really have that much background in arts and crafts, to be honest. Excuse me while I take a drink of my chicken broth. There we go. So, and you're going to do this all the way along. Again, I'm sure I don't math well at all. So I am not even going to attempt to work out how many scores you need to make for how many gussets. Obviously half would be it. But anyway, I came out with 13. Because I just got busy and went along and went along. And once you do that, because this is, I don't even think I did this right. So yeah, I didn't do this run right. Man, I thought I had all this worked out. So this is going to go like this. And there, come on. Yeah, I didn't work it out right. I did not do this one right. Do not do, I hate that phrase, do as I say and not as I do, because it was, yeah. My mother used to say that all the time, and it was like stuck in my craw. Because to me, it was this like hypocritical thing. But don't pay attention to how I glued this. What you would have done. Actually, can I rip it apart and do it again? Because I don't want to start scoring again. And this is just 24-pound paper, so it's not very strong. There. All right. This part gets glued down to the page. So I should have glued down to the page. Oh, for crying in a bucket. Now I'm getting all... The opposite way, the opposite way, the opposite way. There we go. There we go. Oops, don't go off screen. There. There we go. That's how it should be. And then fold this way. I don't know why this is hard for me. It's that whole you mirror on your Cricut and I burned my head with curling iron, which I did as a teenager. So there you go. It's going to look like this. So I have 2 gussets. I'll fix it right now. I always start it off wrong and then I have to try to figure it out. And thankfully, I did most of mine while I was watching American Dad. There. So now we have 2. So this part gets glued down to your paper, and then you just start over. You start down the line. And if that was clear as mud for you, I did my job correctly. If you understood it, well, more power to you. Sorry. And drinking my broth. So, and I'm going to leave all this in here, obviously, because you're seeing it, because I am not going to edit out most of my errors. So, here we are. I have gone through, again, this is to tell me which is up and which is down in case I mess it up, because you know I was. And we will finish gluing down the last 2. I found that this was not as easy as I thought it would be either, just because of trying to put all these in here. And I messed this, to me, I messed it up. Other people would be like, I don't care. But I am a perfectionist, if anything, and somehow I got off track with. And they didn't have to be, obviously they're not perfect, but this one went off the rails, man. That one just like, yeah, it went way, way off. So, let me finish gluing this. And then I have picked out some pockets. And we can be on our way finishing that. So, I've asked you how you're doing today, and obviously, hopefully, you're less discombobulated than I am, which is per my normal, but even sometimes I get, it's like I turn the camera on and I lose my mind. Now, I have learned through trial and error with this today that standing it up to glue actually works out the best, as opposed to laying it, laying it down, because you will go off. Trust me, as I'm going off now. There we go. And for whatever reason, then I have to come over here and see how wonky it has gotten. And that didn't go too wonky. It looks wonky through here because, of course, it went on weird. But I promise you, I start at the edge. So, again, I don't know why. It does that to me. It just does. So what I do is I kind of start here like this. Make sure I get it to the edge. And this is where I start. And then I kind of tack it down and then fold it. And yeah, I don't know what you would want to put in this. I mean, there's lots you can do with it. Depending on your Happy Mail, you might be able to put the cards they send to you in this. You could gift it to someone for a photo album. For special occasions or what have you, birthdays. You know, you could, like if you had some kind of celebration, graduation, birthdays, anniversary, anytime you have guests over, and you could have each one sign a card and slip it in here. So, okay. I keep trying to not say the word so, and it just kind of is part of my vocabulary. I tend to start my sentences off with so, and now that's all I can hear in my head, besides Dixieland. Look away, look away, look away. I also got out some fussy cut birds and some of these. Some of my we can decorate. And for the cards that are going to go in, I've already cut the pockets for the outsides, for most of the outsides of these. I don't know, I just cut. And then these papers, I have some Monet from Mrs. Coggs. A lot of Monet, and then just other things. Like this is from, who's this from? It's Friday Freebie by Happiness and Crafting by G. Kerr. I think that may be our channel name, Happiness and Crafting. So I've got those out. And there's a host of things you can do with this. And I know y'all's minds are already exploding. And unfortunately, this poor guy's going to get covered up. But I will wait because I may decide that I want to do something different. And I cut these to 4 and 5. You can put your pocket here, you can put your pocket there, you cannot put a pocket at all. You can just put decorations on it. It does not matter. The sky is the limit with this, folks. The other thing I did last night while I was futzing around, I replaced my contact paper. I'll move this. With this. It's a thicker, I don't even know what you call it, shelf liner, but it's thick. It's got a little bit of a foam background. It's not sticky at all. So I attempted to stick it on with like B2000 or whatever the name of it is. Some liquid, not liquid, but comes in a foil tube. I think it's a, you know what? I bought it so long ago, I don't know. I think it might be stronger than B5 or E5000, E6000, whatever it's called. I forget. Because I do that a lot. So I'm going to make this first one a side pocket. I'll do a couple so you can, you get the idea. So at some point it becomes more of a craft and chat. Although I'm not quite so chatty today. Not quite so chatty. I went outside last night with Joe. I let him name a chicken. And so that chicken is the only chicken out there. He knows there are others, but just the nature of who he is, that's the only chicken he talks about, that he wants to know about, that he ever asks about. And I fed them yogurt, all of them yogurt for the first time. I'd been meaning to do it for the big hens, but I hadn't done it yet. So that was a treat for them. Isabeau got in on the action. And got herself some, what she got to eat was frozen watermelon, because I had some frozen watermelon from last year. So for them on the hot days. It wasn't hot yesterday, but I was like, you know what? Joe might like to see this. So we fed them watermelon, and the babies still don't quite know what to do with it. And I'm still trying to figure out how to put them in the big coop. I haven't researched it yet. I need to get on backyard chickens and ask advice. And I do kind of feel like, oh man, I'm covering up this paper. But you know, that's my issue. Covering up the paper, And here is, I used some of that acetate from Owen, darn it. Oh well. The washi tape I used is showing on these three sides. But you know what? Oh well. So I want to pick a special spot for this that I like the best. This one. I like that one. And I'm going to glue it and make it a side tuck. Yes, I am. So, yes. See? Side tuck, because I marked X's where I was not supposed to glue, because we all know I'm going to glue where I'm not supposed to, because it's just kind of my jam. I think it's because I'm still nervous. When I turn the phone on, the camera on, I get really nervous. And I lose my head. There. And I'm trying not to be too precious about where I place everything. And just pick pick a spot and just stick. Don't think, just stick. Don't think, just stick. I don't even know where I put my, there it is. The pin in my glue finds its way wherever it wants to go, and then I'm chasing it around all the time. At least that's what it feels like. So there's a couple for you to get started on, and I'm also going to use some lace, which I forgot to bring over. Lace and trim. Lace and trim, lace and trim. To just bling it up a little bit. Or maybe not bling is the right word, because the bling is all in this big bin on the shelf to my left. Hey, I got my left from my right figured out, because sometimes I'm Harrison Ford, Indiana Jones, saying, your other right, your other right. I was really glad to get more lace because I'm rapidly running out of my favorite size. I like this one, but I really like this one, and I don't think any of this came in this big. Nope, doesn't look like it. So yeah, this is my favorite size. This one, like I said, this one and this one, because they're not an edge. Like all of the others are like for edging. And I don't always want that. Not that you can't use it. I just don't want that. So there we go again. What is new in your land? That's what I want to know. What's going on in the land of my subbies? What happened in the last couple days? Well, my little girl, well, she's not so little, but my Izzy girl did not eat last night. She did not doggy food doggy. And I've had her for almost 2 years. And she has never once not eaten her doggy food doggy. She's a bulldog. She's going to eat all the time. If I let her, she will eat all the time. And so I was a little bit concerned because all she did was sleep. But she didn't have anything. I mean, maybe she was snuffing things, hoovering things outside that she shouldn't have been. But the only thing she had out of the absolute ordinary was watermelon. And she's had frozen watermelon before, and it didn't bother her in the least. So I figured it wasn't that. So just in case, things weren't, her elimination wasn't going as planned, shall we say, I went online, and one of the things that you can do to help get things going is yogurt. So I gave her a hefty serving of yogurt in her doggy food doggy, and she snarfed that down right away because, of course, she was hungry. And hopefully everything worked. Not that I saw any indication that nothing was working. But, pets never live long enough. And I do want her to live long in the land. Not the land of cotton. Away, away, away. What's anybody watching anything new? Any new creators that I don't know about? I'm going to try to not close this too much because that 3-in-1 will squidge out from in through the holes. And I may put something on the spine just to reinforce it, but I don't think so at this point. Anyway, where is something to clean this off? Today, oh man, I broke the tip. Oh man, I broke it. Crap on a crap cracker, y'all. Crap on a crap cracker. How do you fix that? I don't think you can. I will have to deal with that later. My talk totally derailed me. Oh, my Crafus is just a hot wreck. It's not even a mess anymore. It is a hot wreck. So that is what I'm doing as soon as I finish filming. Is I'm just stopping. I mean, I really want to finish this so y'all can see the finished project. But I've got to blitz clean something in here because I've discovered I cannot create in chaos. I mean, yes, my desk can get really messy when I'm doing it, but I have to be able to stop and finish cleaning it, get it set to some semblance of rights, and I have not done so. I'm in my box of fussy cut birds, trying to see if there's one that I really like, and I kind of like that little guy, or gal. I've chosen picked raspberry as my inking, because yes, I'm going to ink. Yes, I like to ink. Now, you can come from the back if you don't want the front to be inked. I learned that from Miss Paint-A-Lot. And right here, I'm just going to try to, there we go. Give them a little bit of ink and glue it down. And at this point, there you go. That's where you're going to live. No, you don't have a branch to sit on. You're kind of perching in the midair, but that's okay. It's not real. You're not real. You're a piece of paper that has been printed on. There it is. There we go. So, to recap, this is G. Kerr's pocketbook. I will have it linked down below. I have a note for myself, so I won't forget today. And have to be reminded. Because, you know, you get in here, and it's easy to forget what you've said. I never understood that before, but I sure understand it now. And I understand just how long it takes to do some of this stuff. So here we go. I've got 13 pockets. Yes, it's an odd number, but oh well, I'll deal with it. Didn't even think about that till just now. This is my back cover. Anyway, if you have liked what you have seen today, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Share with your friends. And most of all, please leave a comment. And with that, what else is there to say? Other than, yeah, this is it. Start with a 10 3/4 by 6 paper. That's what I did with mine. And then after the first and last ½ inch score line, you score it every 3/8 of an inch. If you have any questions, please drop it down in the comment box. And with that, I bid you all peace out, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.